Kiely Rodni was a teenage girl. She disappeared after going to a summer party with friends. The party was in the Tahoe National Forest. She left school early that day. Police say she left the party in the early morning of August 6, 2022. That was the last time anyone saw her. Keely had a close and loving family. She also had many friends. She was smart, creative, and excited for her future. Her first year of college was about to start. She wanted to enjoy her last summer days. No one thought a local party would end so badly. The next morning, Keely did not meet her best friends as planned. Everyone knew right away something was wrong. People from the community, volunteers, and police all looked for her. They were not prepared for what they would find. On Friday, August 5th, the Tahoe Forest was beautiful. The sky was clear, and the air was warm. You could see all the way to Mount Shasta. Wildflowers were still growing there. School was going to start soon, so people wanted one last fun day. Keely had finished high school early. This was a big achievement. She was going to start at Sierra College the next week. Her family was very proud of her. That afternoon, she spent time with friends. They made crème brûlée and had a good time. Later, she went to a summer send-off party at Prosser Campground. The campground is about 40 minutes from Reno. It is only a 15-minute drive from her home. Locals call the spot the Sanctuary because it is quiet and has a big lake. It is a common place for teens to gather. Keely planned to meet her closest friends the next morning at 9 a.m. She never arrived. No one saw her after the night of August 5th. Keely grew up in Truckee, California, with her parents, Lindsay and Daniel. They loved her very much. Her younger brother looked up to her. He thought she was the best person in the world. They lived a little outside of town in a rural area. Their lifestyle was somewhat off-grid, which is common in mountain towns. Keely had a typical life for someone from that area. She was known for being positive and easygoing. She had been looking forward to the weekend party for days. She left home around 6 p.m. on August 5th. Her parents did not know it would be the last time they saw her. Soon after leaving, she stopped at a gas station in Truckee. This was about halfway to the campsite. Surveillance video shows her walking in the store for a bit. Then, she got back on the road. A few hours later, around 10 p.m., she arrived at the campsite with her friend Magdalene. There they met another friend, Sammy Smith. Keely and Sammy spent most of the night together. They had a few drinks, talked, and sometimes talked with other people. The party got big very fast. It was supposed to be a small local gathering, but word spread and teens from all over Northern California came. People later guessed 200 to 300 kids were there. Because of wildfire risk, campfires were not allowed. The area was pretty dark. The only light came from glow sticks, electric candles, and open car trunks. Keely and her friends had been to parties like this before. Her mom later told the news that Keely would never drink and drive. She said Keely was responsible and steady. Her friends agreed with this. They never saw her drive after drinking. This is part of why Lindsay felt okay letting her go that night. Around 11 p.m., the girls went to Keely's silver Honda CR-V to charge her phone. They sat inside, talking and sharing drinks. Sammy asked Keely if she could get a ride home later. Lindsay remembers getting a text from Keely around 11:30 p.m. Keely said she was heading home soon. Lindsay trusted her. Keely had always been reliable. She worked hard to finish high school early with honors. So Lindsay texted back, telling her to be safe and that she loved her. Keely replied, "Okay, I love you too." Between 11:30 p.m. and 12:20 a.m., Sammy saw that Keely was too drunk to drive. So Sammy made other plans for a ride home. After that, the two friends went separate ways. Sammy later told police she said goodbye to Keely around 12:25 a.m. A few minutes later, at 12:36 a.m., Sammy got a call from Keely. Keely was asking about Sammy's ride home. From the voices in the background, Sammy thought Keely was still at the party. She did not know this would be the last conversation anyone had with Keely. The next morning, Lindsay woke up and saw Keely was not in her room. Keely's car was not in the driveway. Lindsay tried to call her many times but got no answer. Lindsay contacted the police right away to report her missing. Authorities did not issue an Amber Alert. They said there was not enough evidence she was taken or in immediate danger. They searched the area around the party. They interviewed about 1/3 of the people who were there. Police asked everyone who attended to come forward, but many teens were scared. They were about to start college and worried about getting in trouble. Officers said they were not trying to charge anyone. They just wanted to find Keely. Even with that promise, most people chose not to talk. As news spread about Keely's disappearance, the silence continued. Out of more than 200 people at the party, no one said they saw anything strange, but Keely and her car were gone. It did not make sense that no one saw anything. Trying to help, Sammy organized a meeting with everyone from the party. She did not invite police because she wanted people to feel comfortable talking to peers. But even then, no useful information came out. Sammy told police several times she believed she was the last person to see Keely. She and other friends said some older boys at the party made them feel uncomfortable. This is part of why they decided to leave. Sammy said a few people even laughed at them as they walked away. The friend group had a simple rule. They did not leave anyone behind, especially if that person had been drinking. Sammy also said there were many photos and videos from that night, but none of them showed where Keely went or what condition she was in before disappearing. At first, police did not have much information. A few days later, they said Keely's phone last connected to cellular data at 12:33 a.m. This was around the same time she called Sammy. After that, there was nothing. With no new leads, the search started from that last phone connection. Because Sammy spent most of the evening with Keely, she became a central part of the case. She spoke to the media several times. It was known that someone offered to drive Keely home when she seemed drunk, but she said no. When asked what she thought happened, Sammy's first theory was that Keely may have crashed on the way home. The roads there are steep, narrow, and hard to drive, especially at night and after drinking. Both Sammy and Jagger, who was reportedly Keely's ex-boyfriend, helped in the search. They were also active online, trying to get information, but their interviews and public comments made some people suspicious. Rumors spread quickly about the relationships between Keely, Sammy, and Jagger. Some people online said Sammy and Keely were not close because they did not follow each other on social media. Others noticed Sammy was connected to Jagger, which added more speculation. Things got more intense when Sammy and Jagger asked people to send tips directly to them instead of the police. They said they would filter the information first. Many people found this strange and possibly suspicious. Along with Sammy's changing public statements, some believed she might be involved or hiding something. Jagger also posted publicly, asking anyone with information to contact him. On August 11th, the Prosser County Sheriff's Office said on Twitter that they never told Jagger to collect witness statements. They said all information should go directly to law enforcement. But this announcement only made more people question Sammy and Jagger. This happened especially after photos and videos from the party started circulating and were given to detectives. The search for Kiely Rodni became harder each day. By August 12, 2022, police and volunteers checked her home and retraced her steps. They searched every place she had been the night she disappeared. At a town hall meeting the next week, the Prosser County Sheriff's Office said how far the search had expanded. It went north to Sierraville, east to Verde, and covered the whole Truckee area to the south and west. It even went past Jackson Meadows Reservoir. The search radius was about 25 miles from where she was last seen. Local volunteers believed neither Keely nor her car was still in the Tahoe National Forest. The forest is huge, over 800,000 acres with steep land, thick woods, rivers, and lakes. It is a massive and complicated area to search, but by then, many felt if she were out there, they would have found some trace of her. Meanwhile, online conversations got louder. people kept looking into her relationships with Jagger, Sammy, and others from the party. Most were afraid of what the outcome might be, but they still hoped for good news. Police kept sorting through tips and small pieces of information. At a press conference on August 12th, they said they got reports of an adult telling people not to talk to investigators. In response, they set up a fully anonymous online portal. People could upload photos, videos, or anything else that might help. By this point, the case felt more confusing than ever. It seemed obvious that someone knew something and might be trying to keep it quiet. The next day, August 13th, police held another press conference. Public Information Officer Angela Musalem said search efforts were increasing for the weekend. She also said that on August 12th, a ground search team found what they thought might be a burial site near the campground. Keely's family was told right away. Investigators from the FBI and deputies from Placer and Nevada County went to look. After examining the area, they learned it was actually the remains of a dog. During a public update, Angela Musalem stressed, "Let me be clear. We have one team, one mission, and one goal, and that's to find Kiely Rodni." 9 days into the investigation, the Placer County Sheriff's Office was still working through more than 720 leads. They hoped one would finally point them in the right direction. Meanwhile, people across the country were focused on the case. They shared theories online and hoped for any new information. Some tried to keep things simple, thinking the most straightforward explanation is often right. But as time passed and the accident theory seemed less likely, the questions only grew. How does someone disappear from a crowded party without anyone noticing? What else could have happened? For over 2 weeks, Keely's family had no answers. Her friends were being accused of everything from hiding information to being involved. All while police continued to search day and night. Then, finally, something changed. On August 21st, 2022, a YouTube group called Adventures with Purpose found Kiely Rodni's silver Honda CR-V. It was in Prosser Reservoir. This group is known for solving cold cases through underwater searches. They had been invited to help soon after Keely went missing. Officials told them the reservoir had already been checked by dive teams, and nothing was found. This made what happened next even more unexpected. At 10:40 a.m. on August 21st, Adventures with Purpose began scanning Prosser Reservoir. They used 2 boats with sonar. By 11:15 a.m., one sonar device picked up a large object. It was about 55 feet from shore in only 14 feet of water. A diver named Nick went in to check. He used a Garmin sonar system and confirmed it was Keely's car by the license plate. A body was found in the cargo area. Adventures with Purpose pointed out that the sonar they used costs around $2,500. For a department the size of Placer County, this is not an unreasonable price. It raised questions about why the initial searches did not find the vehicle. If a YouTube team can buy sonar that works this well, why aren't local search and rescue teams using it more? With the FBI involved, an agency known for advanced tools, it raised even more questions about how the car was missed for 2 weeks. After the vehicle was found, Adventures with Purpose posted an update on Facebook. They said they reached out to law enforcement first because they were coordinating with them. But at a press conference the next day, a sheriff's department spokesperson said the opposite. They said Adventures with Purpose never contacted them, and that police initiated the communication. This conflicting information made a lot of people pause. Adventures with Purpose has a strong reputation for being transparent and reliable. Some wondered if local authorities were trying to avoid embarrassment over missing the vehicle. Finding Keely's car was heartbreaking for her family and the community. When officials confirmed the body inside was hers, the tragedy felt even heavier. Many people assumed the case would end there. But what happened next raised more questions about how the search was handled. Doug and Nick from Adventures with Purpose explained their work is highly specialized. They said they consider it a privilege to help police departments across the country, including the FBI. Still, Once people heard they found Keely's car in less than 2 hours, the contrast was clear. Multiple agencies had searched the same area for 2 weeks. Yet, Adventures with Purpose located the car almost immediately. The SUV was upside down in a spot that had supposedly been checked repeatedly. This led to honest concerns about how thorough and effective the original search was. To add to the confusion, a trail camera nearby captured what looked like a car driving into the water. This was at 12:32 a.m. on August 6th. It was at the exact location where Keely's vehicle was found and where her phone last pinged. Local authorities said they spent over 15,000 man-hours looking for her, but another team found her car in under 2 hours in the same place. Aerial footage even shows something in the water where her car was later found. This brings up many questions. If aerial searches were done, how was the car missed? If Keely really drove into the water, her tires would have left tracks in the sand. Her mom reported her missing less than 12 hours later. So how were those tracks not seen? As mentioned earlier, Doug Bishop from Adventures with Purpose said he had serious doubts. He pointed out that Keely was a smart kid getting ready for college. She disappeared from a crowded party and was found a short distance away. He also stressed there was only one way in and out of that area, and Keely knew it well. It was not the kind of place where you could accidentally make a wrong turn. The road where her car ended up required a sharp left onto a rough dirt path. If she somehow turned onto it, she would have known immediately she was not on the main road. This makes the crash even harder to understand. Bishop also thought it was strange that Keely's body was found in the cargo area of the SUV. The only way that makes sense is if she had enough time to move there herself, but if the windows were closed, the car would have filled with water slowly. When Adventures with Purpose found the vehicle, several windows were down. This means the car would have filled up quickly, leaving almost no time to climb to the back. And even if she did have time, why would she go there? Escaping through an open window would have been the fastest way out. The pieces just do not fit neatly. According to news reports, over 400 people die every year when their cars go underwater. Survival usually depends on getting out before the vehicle fully sinks. This often happens in under a minute. Experts say to roll the windows down immediately and get out through the front windows. Every second counts. But this only adds more questions to Keely's situation. The driver's window and other windows were partially down when the car was recovered, yet she was found in the back of the vehicle. On top of that, the driver's side mirror was snapped off. There was also a dent in the driver's door. This damage was not on the car when she left home. Where did it come from? Typically, cars pulled from the water do not show that kind of damage. And with over 200 people at that party, it is hard to believe nobody heard a car go into the water. A lot of things still do not make sense. But eventually, Keely's autopsy report came out. While it answered some questions, the answers were tough for many people to accept. On October 13, 2022, the autopsy officially ruled her death an accident. The cause was listed as drowning. This conclusion surprised a lot of people, especially locals. They were already skeptical because the town's police chief and coroner were reportedly the same person. Some residents believe certain cases get labeled as accidents to protect the area's reputation. Since tourism is a major part of the economy, a high crime rate could scare visitors away. When Keely was found, she was fully clothed with no signs of assault. Her toxicology report showed caffeine, nicotine, and small amounts of THC. Her liver tissue showed a blood alcohol level of 0.008, right at the legal limit. But many experts point out that alcohol can form after death. So that number is not always a reliable indicator of whether someone was actually drinking. The surrounding roads are another factor. They are dark, twisty, unmarked dirt paths. Even if Keely knew the area, could she really have taken a wrong turn and ended up in the water? And if so, why didn't she escape through one of the open windows? The autopsy also raised another issue. There was no water in her lungs. In drowning cases, the lungs are usually heavier because they fill with water. But the medical examiner noted her lung weights were unusually low. They were barely enough to support drowning as the cause of death. Detective Sonier said the case had to be ruled an accident because there was no clear evidence of foul play. But when you look at all the inconsistencies, it is fair to wonder if investigators were thorough enough, or if something was overlooked. This is especially true since Keely's car was found in a spot authorities said they searched multiple times. For Keely's friends and family, not knowing what really happened leaves a hole that may never fully heal. That kind of uncertainty is painful. It is hard to imagine ever finding peace without answers. Even so, there is an important lesson we can take from this tragedy. Never leave a friend behind. This heartbreaking outcome might have been preventable. While we cannot change what happened, it has taught lessons to police, to those at the party, and to the wider true crime community. Keely did not have to die that night. But if her story can serve as a warning, maybe it can help prevent something similar from happening to someone else. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you can be the first to hear about such real-life stories.